Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time doing part 2 of Bongo Comics present Radioactive Man, issue number 7. Now, as we left off with the next story, which is set in during World War II, because given the fact Radioactive Man has a different sort of costume set up, or he referenced the whole Superman stuff, where Captain Squid's like, "Good luck, my friends. Let's knock Hitler on his axis once and for all." So he swings off saying, "Puh, as usual, all my teammates are heading off to do battle the enemy in Europe, and all I get sent off to patrol the hidden ocean depths," and complains about it, and even kicks an anchor in frustration. And there are two sea monkeys saying, "Hello, hey there, stranger. My people, they call me Chatty, but my real name is Kathy. I got the nickname from my playmates who think I talk too much. I can stop if I want to anytime." Well, so he ends up asking her my question, saying, "Hey, you wouldn't happen to be Brain Shrimp now, would you?" "As a matter of fact, we are Brain Shrimp," and so he ends up eating her. Yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't, stop to ask the question or anything. So he ends up trying to eat one of them. And then sees a whole army. And they go for him. And they're like, "Who are you?" "I'm their mother. You got a problem with that, mammal boy?" "No." "Do you mind explaining to me why you decided to eat my children today?" "Well, yes, you see, I'm actually an American superhero who happens to look like a human, but I am really part squid. So, naturally, when I saw your children, I became very hungry and ate all of them." And he says that, "No offense, take this bottle of cocktail sauce and knock yourself out. We'll talk later. By the bread of Neptune." I'm surprised that the children are not saying, "Please don't let him eat us," or anything. And so he's saying, like, "Lady, that was the best buffet I've been to in my life, thanks." "No problem. Actually, it was my pleasure." So he points out how every once in a while she keeps laying more eggs and wants something to do about it, saying, "I wish there was some way to just pawn them off, or something else to raise I've heard up to here with these little sea monkeys." So the next day at a toy store, they're like, "Looks like another great day of sales, Captain Squid. The children are pouring off all these dimes into my cash register faster than ever." So they mainly all head off, and they're like, "Yikes, these kids are like plagues of locusts. Ah, let's go, my guilt. It's not for sale at any cost." And he points out, saying, "Sorry, folks, but that information will have to remain my little secret." Yeah, it's going to be pretty disturbing when anyone finds out. So the final story, you have a kind of Doctor Strange one saying, "Tales of Befold by the abyss of Omegoth, by the sinister shadows of Shagmith, by the dampened darkness of the moor. Once again, no catalogue from Montgomery Ward. Fate and the United States Postal Service mock me. How might I order a lamp in the shape of a donkey for my secret Sectrum Surbum, or a colourful hook rug for my chamber of meditation?" So the native points out is that they're having a yard sale, and they mainly investigate all the stuff going on. So he says, "That blaster of Buster, a magical artifact and power." And so he's like, "Miss Gragmouth, how much for that interesting blaster? That's that hideous thing? You can have it for," "Bah, as I suspected. expected. As you might, you were not so stupid, Blasmo. It is I, Libran Fordo. Yeah, he's meant to be a version of Baron Mordo. And he points out how many years ago that him and Frodo were once students of the Ancient One, saying, then after carefully cutting out this portion of Indian-made torso, you flood the butter. Who was until the night Reverend Frodo threw the decrepit one into the bottom chasm and ended his mortal existence by the fatal force of Freldom. So he ended up battling him all through the times, and says also from the night of the astral plane, Grant took the spare bedroom. For that I will always hate Frodo. Can't you afford a colourful TV set? So he ends up battling him and ends up in another dimension. I'm surprised that the kid's up for it, even though they're in a war zone. He's like, give me the blaster, it's mine! I saw it first! Liar! Who dares do battle in my domain? By the twingers of Gwyneth, the fearful Flamdamu. Yeah, he's meant to be a version of Dormammu, a parody version, saying, Blasmo, you thundering idiot! Again? How many times have I told you? Is that the blaster? That would go perfectly with my spatula of Spartan and my lemon of wearing off. So he ends up giving her a check and ends up sending them back to the mortal realm. Afterwards, Blasmo and his arch enemy are fighting over something, and you got someone like Clear from Marvel asking, how much for the terrible toaster of Tamboli? And yeah, by the end of it, that's the story. The story is kind of alright, but I was expecting it to be a bit better. It's not as great, but feels an alright comic. So I give it thumbs in the middle. Still good and still alright. So, comic review here. Signing out.